If you were to call up central casting and ask for a gentleman lawyer who represented an institution that had a deep set of values like Wake Forest, they would deliver Reid Morgan.
He's your lawyer, your gentleman farmer, church deacon that's full of grace and gravitas and keeps the ethical contours of the community together.
Just a fine person and a deeply thoughtful person, even as a young man in his 20s.
When he came here as a student, he just sort of inhaled Wake Forest. And I think Wake Forest in turn sort of assimilated him into its very nature.
I was in the hall outside President Scales' office, and Dr. Scales came out and he said, I want you to meet this person that I've just asked to become a legal advisor to the administration. He came wanting to do the best thing he could find to do to make sure that the Wake Forest tradition remained alive and kicking.
He has been the consistent guiding voice for the university in one of the most significant leadership roles for over 40 years. He's been the common thread.
From the time I entered the job, Reid's office was right down the hall, and I was often there. He has been a kind of high counselor to all of us in senior administration. He knows how to put issues in context. He's able to disentangle complex issues into their components and then offer really sage, wise advice.
His advice to the presidents of Wake Forest has spanned virtually all of the things that have taken Wake Forest into the modern era.
A legal counsel for a university has responsibility for everything from the university's hiring practices to the well-being of its staff and faculty, its students, the support of all of the university's real estate portfolio. Then there are the huge issues that come from having a Division I athletics program. The ramifications will play out for generations.
I suspect that Wake Forest won his heart very, very early in his life. And as he grew as a person, that love just grew with him.
He does not allow his love for Wake Forest University to handcuff him to romantic narratives of nostalgia. He has a critical love because he wants this institution to live up to its motto of pro humanitate.
You both have to hold and preserve certain things, and certain things you have to open up to and allow them to grow and expand and imagine their future in a different way. So this ability to both honor and preserve something at the same time to open, to change, and to grow is a wonderful attribute of who he is. He brings that same level of wisdom, that same level of integrity, that same level of caring about the flourishing of all those around him into the entire city.
He's a citizen of Winston-Salem and Forsyth County in North Carolina, and he cares about all of those. So I first met Reid in 2001, and he and I were brought together to solve a real estate problem in downtown Winston-Salem, which was a part of the beginnings of Piedmont Triad Research Park and what is now today become Innovation Core.
So Wake Downtown was an adventure. A group of folks went to meet with the CEO of Reynolds at the time. Through a number of conversations, Andy Schindler ended up donating downtown to Wake Forest.
With Reid's help, we were able to craft these documents that enabled the city and the county, and ultimately the state and the federal government, to invest in Innovation Core.
Donations often have complexity with them, and Reid was wonderful about finding his way through all this complexity with environmental issues and everything else. And so Reid helped capture all that language, think about what that looked like. What would this mean for Wake Forest to be downtown 30 years from now, 40 years from now?
There's so many things that Reid has done just like that all over Wake Forest. Where his fingerprints might be there, but nobody could ever trace it back to him.
Reid is the Yoda of Wake Forest.
He's on the Mount Rushmore of Wake Forest. We are as good as we are now because Reid Morgan dedicated his career to this institution.
There are no hours too long, no conversation too difficult, no protracted negotiations too challenging, no thorny issue too complex that Reid wouldn't take it on.
Reid, I hope we will continue to be the best of friends, and that you will call me by my first name.
Always you call us to our best. We can never thank you enough for that.
And if it's true what people say, that one mark of leadership is that you left a place better than you found it, then I can say without equivocation, you're a mark of a great leader. Thank you, Reid.
It's hard to say what any one thing that attracted me to Wake Forest originally. I didn't have a great plan about what was going to happen in college. I was sort of going on feel, and it felt right.